Gauteng, seeing a number of violent crimes in recent weeks. Just last week, the very case we are talking about with Malungelo Boy, the gang rape of 8 women while shooting a music video in Krugersdorp. Now, yesterday, the Police Minister Bheki Cele and other law enforcement agencies conducting a raid in that area to stop illegal mining. Well, let's talk more on this now, and we're joined by the Gauteng Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Elias Mawela. General, thank you very much for your time, making it to studio. You're a very busy man. Let's start with the very terrible story of the rape of these 8 young women. Have you made any headway? Do you have any update for us as far as the DNA testing is concerned? Have you made any positive links, at least to the people that are arrested and appearing in court today?
Good morning, Koli, and good morning to your viewership out there. And once more, thank you for the opportunity given to us to can come and talk to the citizens. With regard to this case, our detectives are still hard at work. As we all know that, there is a lot of people who were arrested. And our forensic lab, they are also hard at work, analyzing those things. We don't want to rush it. Yeah, we don't want to rush it. We want to give them space and time so that they do a thorough work, do the linkages, and also, link with other systems which we have in the police, like your AFI system, whereby we are checking the wanted suspects and so forth, or people whom they've left their fingerprints as well in the commission of crime and so forth. Yeah. So we want them to do a thorough job, and once that it is done, then we'll be able to can come out and inform the public as to where are we now in terms of linking those. We are very much happy because of the courts are also on our side, because of they didn't rush to can release these people on bail and so forth. We know that today they are appearing, and majority of them will be indicating whether they want legal assistance from the state or their own and so forth. Then it's still a long way to go for these people, and it also gives us an opportunity to do the thorough job.
If you combine the arrests that were made over the weekend with the arrests that were conducted yesterday, how many people in total do you have in custody that are operating in the Krugersdorp area? Yeah,
obviously those who have arrested over the weekend are still there behind bars, and yesterday we arrested 46. But those are not the only ones. Those are only those who were arrested with that operation which we were leading, myself and the minister. But also in other areas, there's a lot of people who were arrested yesterday, because we have this operation all over Gauteng. We had one in Ekurhuleni, we had another one here in Johannesburg, and we also had that one there. So it's a lot of people arrested, but specifically for those ones, it was 46 plus this 82. Yeah.
All right. We're going to talk about what your plan is exactly as you continue to round up these many people that seem to be operating illegally in our country. But let's focus the attention on the DNA testing. The public will appreciate that you don't want to rush this because you want to be thorough about it. So let's go back to the time that these women were driven to the Krugersdorp police station and subsequently the Leratong hospital for medical care. Are you confident that the collection of DNA samples is going to withstand scrutiny in court? In other words, you are not going to come out compromised because of the manner in which the DNA was collected, at least from the victims?
I'm confident that we will definitely have a credible case based on the evidence collected on the ground, because immediately we were informed about that incident. We have mobilized a specialized unit. Even though there were some challenges, it was a little bit windy, the area is sandy and so forth. But I can assure the public that, we have collected good exhibits, because we are also using our biological dogs, whereby in some instances they could find, biological, semen and all those things. right at the scene of crime. So we believe that what we have collected is going to assist us to put together a solid case against the suspects.
All right. Commissioner, let's pause there for a moment. Let's take a break. When we return, we are going to then get into what the strategy is about rounding up so many people. What are you going to do with them, particularly those that may end up not being linked to this case? The conversation in a moment. If you're just joining us, we are in conversation with the Gauteng Police Commissioner, that's Lieutenant General Elias Mawela. We're talking about the crime situation in the province of Gauteng, General, and in particular, the case that has sparked outrage in the country, the rape of 8 young women. Repeatedly, these young women gang raped, allegedly by the people that you are rounding up, and of course there are no positive links at the moment. But let's talk about that strategy of arresting so many people. During the break, I did the maths. You say 82 plus 46. That's 128 so far. What is your strategy here as you do these arrests? Where are you going with these arrests?
Yeah. We have established what we call it the process center in the West Rand, and that process center is being manned by our detectives and all the specialized unit within the detectives, including the forensic, the criminal record center, and all the supporting units to investigation. So when these people are taken to the police station, they are being taken through all these stages: registration, taking off their fingerprints, taking their pictures, buccal sample, you can name them. All this process. And then they are detained, ready for them to can appear before court. And then we take all this information we've gathered so that now it needs to be processed. Then thereafter we'll receive what we call it the Section 212 statement from the specialist now to say that this is what they found for each and every one of those people whom we have arrested. But even if we don't link them to a specific crime, but still they are illegal in the country, so they will still have to go through the immigration process. Whereby the magistrate may declare that these people, they need to be returned to their countries of origin, or the magistrate may also decide to say that we sentence you for a specific period behind bars, thereafter you need to be repatriated to your country of origin.
I'm going to rush us, General, because of time. I appreciate what you just said, because it appears to be a thorough process that is going to ensue, to take fingerprints and the rest that you've said. But it's a fact, General. Our reporter is at court, and he was there on Monday when some of the people appeared, the very same people. 3 of them are repeat offenders. Why do we say they are repeat offenders? Because they are appearing in court now for the same crime of being in the country illegally. Why have you not followed through the very same process you have detailed here? Because clearly someone is not doing their job.
You see, the problem of repeat offenders is not only the role and responsibility of the police. Remember, these people, they go through the court, and the court, they may release other people on bail. Or the court, they may order us to can repatriate these people to the countries of origin. And these people, they find their way back into the country, and we arrest them again. But the good thing about this system is that at least we have their details in our data system. Hence, we can say that these are the repeat offenders.
The Community Policing Forum in Krugersdorp says there were reports about the very same Zamazamas who are abusing women in that community. There are rape cases that have been opened before this one. And they are alleging that the reason the police have not acted in the manner in which you are doing now is because some of your members are in the pockets of these people. Are you aware of that?
Okay, firstly, let me respond to what the CPF they are saying. CPF, they forget one thing, that there's no CPF without the police and there's no CPF without the community. So CPF is community and police forum. So it means these two entities, they need to sit together in one boardroom, joint identification of problems, joint developing strategies, and respond accordingly. So they can't stand on the side and start pointing fingers on the police or claim to be CPF while they are only the community. So they can only be the CPF if there is police in that entity.
Yeah.
That's number one. The issue of illegal mining is not a new thing in Gauteng, actually in the country. It's not a new thing. And it is not only happening in the West Rand. In Gauteng, it's happening in Johannesburg, Matholeville. Somebody was talking about Matholeville here, in Roodepoort. It's happening in Benoni, Boksburg, Brakpan.
Why is it difficult to stem this General? Because some people have actually said it has become an established business of sorts, although we know it's illegal.
Yes. We develop a plan. We did develop a plan. We call it a 5-pillar plan. If you can allow me to just on a high level explain how does it work. The pillar number 1 is an intelligence lake. Intelligence lake whereby they collect all this information and then they support pillar number 2, 3, and 4. Pillar number 2, that is the proactive lake. The proactive lake is not only the police. The police, they have their part, whereby we do the disruptive operation. And we've been doing a number of those operations, whereby we remove, arresting the runners, we remove the pendukas, the equipment. I think some of the operations, they were widely covered. We were doing that. That is pillar number 2. Pillar number 3 is the hardcore policing. When all systems have failed, under pillar number 1, number 2. That's when now we come with a hardcore approach, whereby we engage these people. But again, on pillar number 2, we also expect the mining houses to do certain things, because the permits which they are having to can run that business, it also dictates to them that unused mine, it needs to be rehabilitated. They need to put the fencing around that. They need to put security measures around those. That is proactive measures around that. And then when we come into the number 4, the number 4 whereby it's a reactive one, investigation, including the organized lake, organized crime lake, and then that's where now they are addressing the whole value chain of the organized crime from level 1 until level 5. And the last pillar, which is the communication lake and stakeholder mobilization. That's where now all these role players, we sit together, identify problems, we share information and so forth, and mobilize the communities around that particular area where we are having this kind of challenges. So we implement these strategies as it is, and we have been doing that all along.
General, can I ask you a question that will probably become a statement? How effective is your crime intelligence or your intelligence gathering?
You see, we've had so many people that were asking this kind of a question. There is very good work which our intelligence community they are doing. Some of the work which they are doing, it is not widely covered in the public space. And there is so many work which they are doing which the people, they don't know about it. There are so many crimes which we are foiling because of the intelligence work, and of which when we are acting and we deal with those things, the community, they don't know that we have acted because of we got intelligence from our operatives. So we are not saying we are there, but definitely they are assisting us to can fight crime in Gauteng.
I'm not going to be unfair to you and say point at least to one incident, because there is one incident where certain people, and among them again foreign nationals, were some of those that were killed. The operation that you conducted in Boysen about the crime, or what was it, the cash in transit heist that was about to occur, and you were able to stem that. At least that's evidence of crime intelligence. But I suppose the complaint is that you're not effective enough. General, I'm going to move on from this and quickly bring in the case of Babita Deokaran. The month of August marks the first anniversary of her murder. The people who are before court, there was prominent talk that there was a person who ordered the hit, who ordered her assassination. Where is the mastermind?
Yeah, you see, since this case is before court, I will be careful not to comment on that. Reason being, some of these things still going to be ventilated in court. And the court, they have their way in which they are doing things. You know, they may say to us, please hold on this one, we'll deal with this person later on and so forth. Let's continue with this one. Practical example, you have seen this one of Tsegofatsopuli. We have started with one person until to the end. Later on, the court, they say, bring the second person. You understand? So the courts, they have their way in dealing these things. I will request and I will appeal with the community that give us space and time. Let's allow the court to do its work. And when the time is right, the mastermind will be brought into court.
But that doesn't stop you, General, from arresting the mastermind. Mr. Ntutuko Shoba was arrested in the very same year that Tsegofatsopuli was murdered, and he was placed in custody, and he actually went through the whole court process whilst in police holding cells. I'm not sure that the story you're telling me now holds water. If you genuinely believe that there was a mastermind, that person should be in custody by now.
No. When the time is right, the person will be brought before court. But for now, let's allow the court process to continue.
General, let's conclude the conversation around the Tavern killings that we have seen in Gauteng, at least Gauteng. Is there progress there in terms of making sure that the people that have been arrested are the correct people? What is the status quo around the attacks on taverns?
Yeah, also that one, the attacks on patrons at the taverns, it is not the new thing in Gauteng. It gained momentum and it gets to be known by people when this one happened in Orlando. But we've been having this kind of a problem in Gauteng, and we've been arresting people around that. I'll take you back. 2-3 years ago, we had another one in Vlakfontein. 6 people, they were killed there. They were just seated. Nothing was happening there, enjoying themselves. People, they just came and shoot at them. We arrested them. In Kagiso, again, similar thing. 6 people were killed. We arrested those people who have done those things. So that one of Orlando, it happened in such a way that everybody in the country, they thought this is a new thing which is happening. But we've been talking to our sister department, especially the people who are responsible, the liquor board in Gauteng. You know, we have highlighted some of the deficiencies which we felt that the liquor board, they need to attend to those things and then they deal with those things so that they can assist us to mitigate this kind of a threat. We are hard at work. When these incidents happen, we follow through and we arrest those people who are responsible for that.
General, I must thank you very much for your time, but I'm going to squeeze one last one, and it's got to do with at least a timeline. Do you have a timeline within which you can tell us that there have been positive DNA links, because the victims, they want justice?
Yes, the victims, they want justice and they'll see justice. What we don't want to do is to put pressure on our detectives, because they'll end up making mistakes. They'll end up arresting for the sake of silencing the big bosses or the pressure from the community. From my side, I tell them that you do the thorough work. When the time is ready, the docket, it has been checked, because they have been supported by the prosecutors to say, this, it's a court-ready docket. We are ready to go to court. If you have to effect an arrest and something like that. So I will appeal again to the community that let us not put pressure on our detectives for them to do or effect an arrest for the sake of effecting an arrest. It's not going to help anybody. Yeah.
General, thank you very much for your time. I hope that is going to be some comfort to the people who have had this ordeal happen to them. You're saying that this is a prosecutorial-led investigation. You are being assisted by prosecutors. So hopefully things are going to work in unison. That's the Commissioner of the Police here in Gauteng, General Elias Mawela. Thank you very much for your time.